143 international goals, more than any man in the history of football, 5 Ballon d'Or awards, 5 Champions League titles, every trophy the game has to offer, sitting in his cabinet, gathering dust, reminding the world of what he achieved. Except one, the only one that truly matters on the global stage. The FIFA World Cup has never been in Cristiano Ronaldo's hands, not once, not even close. And right now, at 41 years old, he is standing on a World Cup pitch for the 6th time in his life, chasing a dream that has haunted him for 20 years. This is that story. Germany 2006, Ronaldo is 21, young, electric, and playing alongside Portugal's golden generation. Figo, Deco, Rui Costa. They reach the semifinals. They are 90 minutes from the final. Then Zidane happens. One free kick, one goal. France win. Ronaldo stands on the pitch and weeps like a child, openly without shame. Because at 21, you still believe the dream will come back around. South Africa 2010. Portugal meets Spain, the greatest international side ever assembled. They lose by a single David Villa goal, out in the quarterfinals. Brazil 2014. Ronaldo plays injured. Portugal fall apart. They go home in the group stage. Russia 2018. Ronaldo scores a stunning hat trick against Spain in the opening game. A last-minute free kick that sends the internet into meltdown. Portugal advance, but Uruguay and Cavani end their run in the round of 16. 4 tournaments, 4 exits. 4 times the dream died, but none of them prepared him for what Qatar 2022 was about to do to him. Qatar 2022 did not just break Cristiano Ronaldo's heart, it forced him to confront something far more painful than any defeat. It forced him to watch the future arrive, but while he was still standing in the present. It started before the tournament even began. There were reports of a dressing room divided, tensions between Ronaldo and the coaching staff, questions about whether the captain still commanded the same respect he once did. He denied everything publicly, but the whispers never stopped. Then came the Switzerland match in the round of 16. Portugal destroyed them 6-1, a demolition so complete it felt like a statement. But the statement did not belong to Ronaldo. It belonged to a 21-year-old named Gonçalo Ramos, brought in to replace the rested Ronaldo, who scored a hat trick on the biggest stage of his young life. The camera found Ronaldo on the bench as Ramos celebrated his 3rd goal. His face said everything his words never would. He sat there, arms crossed, jaw tight, watching a young man do what he had been doing for 2 decades, and somewhere in that moment, the uncomfortable truth landed. His team might actually be better without him. He came off the bench late in that game. The crowd cheered, out of respect, out of love, but also, and this is the painful part, out of nostalgia. Portugal then faced Morocco in the quarterfinals. Morocco were the fairy tale of that entire tournament, the first African nation in history to reach a World Cup semifinal. The atmosphere in Al Thumama Stadium that night was electric. 70,000 people willing the impossible to happen. Portugal could not break them. They tried. They pushed. Ronaldo came on as a substitute, and you could see in his eyes the desperation. Not just to score, not just to win, but to prove something. To prove he still belonged. To prove the story was not over. The final whistle blew. Morocco won. Portugal 0. And then came the moment that broke football fans across the entire world. Cristiano Ronaldo walked down the tunnel and he crumbled. Not gently, not quietly. He broke down completely, sobbing in a way that felt intensely private, yet the whole world was watching. 37 years old, 5 Ballon d'Or awards, every record imaginable. And he was crying like it was the end of everything he had ever worked for. Because maybe it was. Most of the world assumed it was over, that this was the goodbye. Emotional, devastating, but final. They did not know Cristiano Ronaldo well enough. While the world wrote his farewell, Ronaldo went back to work. At Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, he scored 26 goals in 29 games this season. He scored 25 goals in 30 appearances for Portugal under manager Roberto Martinez, a better goals per game ratio than under any previous national team coach in his entire career. Think about that for a moment. At 41 years old, playing the best international football of his managerial era, refusing to slow down, refusing to accept the ending that everyone else had already written for him. When FIFA confirmed the final 2026 World Cup squads in June, Ronaldo's name was there. Portugal's captain, their leader, their number 7. And on the 17th of June 2026 in Houston, Texas, under the floodlights of a packed stadium, Cristiano Ronaldo walked out onto a World Cup pitch for the 6th time in his life. 6. No outfield player in the history of men's football had ever done that before. He stood alongside only one other man who matched that record, Lionel Messi, his eternal rival, his mirror image. The man who already has the trophy Ronaldo has chased his whole life. The contrast in that moment was almost unbearably poetic. Portugal's opening game against the Democratic Republic of Congo was not the fairy tale return anyone had hoped for. Ronaldo played all 90 minutes. He worked, he pressed, he demanded the ball, but the game passed him by in a way that felt painful to watch for anyone who grew up watching him dominate. He had just 25 touches, the fewest of any Portugal starter. He missed a chance in the second half that once, in his prime, he would have buried without thinking. Portugal drew 1-1, a dropped point, a frustrating night. After the match, his manager Roberto Martinez defended him publicly, saying Ronaldo's experience, his presence in the box, his ability to attract defenders and create space was still invaluable. But the statistics told a harder story. Ronaldo is now on a 5-game World Cup scoring drought since his goal against Ghana in 2022. The goals and the thing that defined him above everything else have dried up on this stage. And yet, and this is what makes this story so impossible to look away from, Portugal still have everything to play for. The tournament has barely begun, the knockout rounds are ahead, and Cristiano Ronaldo has always saved his most dramatic moments for when the stakes were highest. He is not done. He has never been done until the final whistle of the final match tells him so. So after 20 years, after 6 World Cups, after 143 international goals, why has the trophy never come? The honest answer is this: Portugal were never a complete team in the way World Cup winners need to be. They had Ronaldo, they had moments of brilliance, but they never had the collective depth, the tactical consistency, the full squad belief that turns a good team into world champions. There were also moments of pure cruel fate, facing Zidane at his absolute peak in 2006, facing Spain's greatest generation in 2010, facing Morocco's impossible fairy tale in 2022. And then there is the weight of being Cristiano Ronaldo. When one man carries an entire nation's hopes for 20 years, the burden eventually becomes too heavy, even for the strongest shoulders in football. But here's what history keeps reminding us. Messi suffered for 20 years without a major international trophy before winning everything. Football waits. Football makes you bleed. And then, sometimes, football gives you exactly what you deserve. The 2026 World Cup is not over. 41 years old, 6 World Cups, one dream still alive. Whatever happens in the weeks ahead, whether Ronaldo scores the goal that finally silences every doubt, or whether he walks off this stage for the last time without the trophy, one thing is already written in stone. No player in the history of this sport ever wanted it more. No player ever came back more times. No player ever refused to accept the word impossible with more conviction and more fire. Cristiano Ronaldo may never lift the World Cup, but the pursuit of it, across 20 years, through tears and heartbreak and impossible comebacks, that pursuit is one of the greatest stories football has ever told. And we are watching the final chapter right now. Do not look away. If this story hit different for you, smash that like button, subscribe to Football Chronicles, and drop a comment. Can Ronaldo still do it in 2026? We want to know what you think. See you in the next one.